Hello everyone and welcome to the Devtastic Voyage. Now, what is this? Why have I been blasting your Twitters with this? Well, we're going to do something fun here. You are going to be a fly on the wall, or in this case, a fly on the screen, as we make a game. Now, I realize there's a lot of questions. Why am I doing this? Who am I? What is going on? I will try and answer them as best as I can. I don't promise anything. First with the who am I? Hi. I'm the guy who's currently in your ear. Name's Dusty. We've probably met in some way, shape, or form. I am a game developer, a general teddy bear of a person, and I passionately love games. This is starting to sound like a personal ad and it wasn't meant to be. Anyway, why we're here is, well, I have to give a particular shout out to one person, and that would be Mr. Moonball on the Twitters. I'm sorry, Moonball, I don't actually remember what your full thing is on Twitter. I think it's like 1989? Now, why am I giving credit to Moonball, you may be asking? Well, Moonball, he originally came at me with the idea of, hey, you should stream. You seem like you would be really good at it. I do interact with a lot of streamers. Now, why isn't this happening on a stream? I mean, Twitch has a great creative place where I could be doing a game dev stream. Here's the thing. Twitch, not my skill set. A Twitch stream or a live stream of any sort seems more akin to someone who, it's like you're hosting a party, except with less bean dip. And that doesn't really play to my skill set. Plus, if I do it this way, I can edit it, and if I really get distracted, I can go, wait a minute, don't say that out loud. That's something we say when the camera isn't rolling. But what we're going to be doing here is, like I said, we're going to be making a game. I'm going to take you through as much of it as I can. I will fast forward at certain points, mostly for aesthetic purposes, and you don't want to sit here and watch an hour-long stream. Speaking of which, if you notice this handy little timer right here, each of these we will be sitting down for an hour length of time. It won't be an hour for you, it will be an hour for me to create a game or advance the game. And I'm hoping this goes well, because I really like this idea. And each time we'll have a set of goals here, so you can try and follow along with what I'm doing. Things this stream will not be. This will not be any sort of tutorial. See, this is why I don't stream. This is why, because I'm stumbling over my words. This will not be a tutorial of how to make games or how to spell words. This, at best, will be an inside look of how I make games. The way I do it is going to be very different, but the fascinating and amazing thing about making games is there is literally infinite ways to skin that cat. So, enough bit of a preamble. This has been all over the place. Let's set sail and get going where we should be going. I don't know how to do segues yet. This will be a learning process for everyone involved, especially me. Just think of me on a Segway, like Paul Blart Mall Cop. So, first things first, when it comes to making a game, we need to have an idea. Now, I do have an idea laid out, as you can see by the title up there. Eventually, where I want to get to is making a BattleCattle dating sim. As if you're watching this, you're more than likely involved with BattleCattle. I owe these guys everything. They have absolutely changed my life, and a big reason of why I'm doing this is because they've gotten me to a point where I feel comfortable doing this. And I said a while ago I'd be making a BattleCattle dating sim, so we're going to take the first kind of baby steps with this first project, and then look to move forward onto a much bigger one. So, what is this first one going to be, you may be asking? Well, as the title says, the current code name is BCUK High First Day. That's very literal. We're going to be making a dating sim. Now, for those of you that don't know, a dating sim is like How to Fool Boyfriend, any of those really kind of anime, dead animation, text bar. I'm describing this horribly, and I may not be using the term dating sim correctly. It may be actually closer to a visual novel. Unsure at this point, but the base idea is you will be playing X and trying to go on a date with Y. Now, of course, again, this is why I'm doing this edited, because I can take some of this out if it really comes stumbly out. But I think I'm going to leave this first part in just so I can admonish my own growing pains. In the full BattleCattle dating sim, you will be able to date the entire herd. That is the goal. But for this first crack, so we can kind of get the engine down, we can get some of the design we want down, we're only going to be able to date one person. And the crux of the story we'll be dating is, this will be Shadow and Suli Skip Day. Now, I've done some bare minimum design on this, because I wanted to do it mostly through this. The base design I have for this is it is Shadow / Suli's first day at BCUK High, and it is the day of the Skip Festival. If this is a little inside baseball for anyone who is not obsessively following the herd, two streamers, Shadowstalker and Suli Spa, have a interesting relationship, an interesting bromance. At a convention, they decided to skip off together, and full disclosure, this is going to be a bit of a fanfic about that, but it'll be a safe for work fanfic, I assure you. So the goal for the player, and this is where we're going to start getting into some of the design, is they want to skip with the other person. When I say the other person, start of the game, what I'm thinking is you will choose between Shadow and you will choose between Suli. So just give Suli, very artistically represent Suli's beard. If you've been wondering, yes, I am doing this inside Microsoft Paint. It gives me just kind of a think of it as the whiteboard we're looking as we're designing off of. So, I'm going to officially start the clock here now. This one won't be going a full hour. I'm only going to be going about 10 minutes. We're just going to get kind of the base design, because now you're up to speed on what this show is going to be. I'm going to be trying to post one of these one every week. That's going to be the goal, so I can basically carve out an hour to put some time into this. Like I said, we will be skipping over some of the nitty-gritty, like if I say, oh, we have to program X scene to do Y. Unless it's really interesting, it's probably going to be fast-forwarded over. But most of the design you're going to see, probably won't see much of the testing. That'll be a lot of fast-forwarding. And then up to making a trailer and making a release. Oh, also, BattleCattle Legal Department, whomever that might be. This is not made with or endorsed by BattleCattleUK. This is a fan project and is subject to be killed by BCUK at any time. I won't be making this to be sold. This will be free, and if any money is generated from it somehow, I will donate it to the three or four people who will be involved in terms of BattleCattle members. And when I say involved, like Suli and Shadow are going to be involved, air quotes, as they'll be the main characters, and I will be using current plan is one other BCUK member as a part of this small game. So if any money gets generated from this, I will donate it to those guys because, again, fan project as part of a strange little Let's Devtastic Voyage experiment. No money, no endorsement, the other legal yada yada, moving right along. Moving swiftly along. Alright. So, let's start the time and let's start designing. So, for a dating sim, I have the starting point and I have a few of the endpoints. For those of you that don't know, a lot of dating sims, I'm going to be using dating sim and visual novel interchangeably. Apologize if anyone who's an avid fan of these type of games is upset by that. I know there is a difference. I don't exactly know hardcore what it is. But I look for them more as a choose-your-own-adventure game. So they're all going to start from the same spot. So we're going to start with picking either Shadow or Suli. Player picks whoever they want, and then the actual first step they meet is then to meet the new kid. Of course, the new kid will be the person that they didn't pick. Then I'm thinking we go full kind of anime or bad 80s movie. They see the person, and then immediately you're drawn to, oh, I must have them. I don't know what the hell this image is. Let's add sparkles to it, because sparkles make everything better. Then the player's motivation becomes the day of that basically school dance, or in this case school skip. They want to skip with the new kid, and they go about devising the way they're going to do that. Now, I know the key component is in a choose-your-own-adventure type deal. There's going to be multiple endings. So what I'm thinking is having eight different endings. Four for each main character. So there will be one. Let's copy that. F. Oh, live bad use of MS Paint with Dusty. I'm sure this is what you... So there'll be 4 ways that shadows can end. There'll be 4 ways that Sulis can end. So this is going to be a bit of a brainstorm, because if we know the start and we know the end, then we can work on sorting out the middle. I'm thinking with 8 endings, we have then 8 interaction points. Game is meant to be small, it's meant to be quick. More focus of this game is going to be on my side, getting a visual novel, dating sim, choose your own adventure engine done, so that I can then apply it to the much larger BattleCattle dating sim or any dating sims in the future. I am infatuated with this genre, which I realize is a strange word choice for dating sim. So there's 4 ways each story can end. Now, both of them, I'm thinking, will have the 2 bookends. So you have Get the Man. Again, this is like alive and like we're doing this all on a whiteboard. So you have Get the Man. That means, so in this case for Shadow would get Suli and then they'd go skip off and be happy. That's the happy ending. And then you have Forever Alone. Doesn't skip with anyone and instead chickens out because he can't ask Suli to... I can't say your name, Suli. I really can't. Can't ask Suli to skip. So he sits over in the corner and cries. That would be our bad ending. Now, we do have a 3rd player in this, and my thinking is we have Era in it as kind of each person's wingman. So for Shadow, it'd be a very more friendly relationship. I said that completely backwards. Again, minimal design has been done with this, but Era is the wingman for both parties, because you can pick whichever one to start with. So when Shadow going for Suli, Era is kind of your wingman, but is also kind of your rival, because, I mean, look at the man on Twitter and look at that beard. So we have the less bad ending. Era steals, or Ara? Why am I saying Era? Ara. Steals Suli. So that's less than ideal, but fits in with, because, I mean, new kid Suli, new beard on the block. Think everyone would be after that. And then the less nice ending is Shadow skips with Era as friends. Shadow can't bring himself to ask Suli, so he winds up going to the skip with Era, and they skip as friends. I think that's a good place to go. Again, we fit in with the characters. I use that in air quotes. This is full fan fiction headcanon of what I think would happen in this particular scenario. So then on the other side, if we have the 4 endings for Suli, the same as with Shadow, he either gets a man, because Suli always gets his man, or forever alone. The bit of a difference is we're going to have, if you play a Suli, instead of Era, you going with Era as a friend, Suli chooses Era over Shadow. Rather than going with Shadow, Suli, I don't know, think of something schmaltzy to say, and he picks Era, so it's the same kind of ending as with Shadow, but there's a different context, and we could arrive at it a different way, so it gives us some flex. Hey, maybe somewhere along the way, Suli goes on a lunch date with Era, and they go eat tater tots over in the corner. Fundamentally, this is where we get into where I don't have the full game picture in my head, where they go play with penguins. Then, similar outcome. We want it to end up where Era doesn't necessarily steal Shadow, because, well, if we're laying out the characters, Era doesn't want Shadow. Era wants Suli. I can't believe I actually said that. I apologize to all 3 of you. So, maybe Era gets rid of Shadow. Maybe we have that as an option. Oh no, we want multiple choice endings, so then we can start to lay out the tree of how we get here. Because I am thinking that since we have 8 endings, there'd be 8 periods, or 8 class periods. So you have 8 choices you can make throughout the day. That will then branch off into those 8 endings. But I'm going to, as I'm running low on time for developing this one, you have the base start of where we're going to be. We're making a dating sim where you're trying to be either Suli or Shadow, and you're trying to skip with the other, and then you have Era mixed in there. I like this idea. I think this is going to be fun. It's going to be fun to make. Hopefully this will be fun for you guys to watch. And hopefully I didn't bumble around and stumble over my words too bad in this, and hopefully all the technology I did to set this up worked fine. If it didn't, I'm going to be really sad. But yeah, that was the first leg aboard the Devtastic Voyage. Please let me know what you're thinking about it, either in the comments on Twitter or shout it out the window. I may not hear it if you shout it out the window. Send a raven, that might be more helpful, or postcard. Tell me how your summer was. This is going so far off the rails. Yeah, thanks for checking this out. Look forward to next week. We're going to do some more design work on it. And until next time, have a good one.